we were near the railway station in Rennes, France, and we were removing a tile roof that had been bombed out, and we were going to put a new temporary roof on that building. And I just happened to glance over and see this French family with ropes around a piano, trying to get this piano up to the second floor through French doors. Well, now, they might have still been there, because they would never got that done. But I took 4 or 5, maybe a half a dozen big GIs up there, and we just put that piano up into the second floor with French doors, and that's where I met Anthelmette. I saw her there that day, and then later had a chance, as we were working on that roof, to get to know her a lot better, and also her parents, her mother, daddy, and grandmother lived there with them in a rather low rent district near the railway station in Rennes, France, so she could go to pharmacy school.
And what was your first impression of Anthelmette?
Hey, that looks pretty good. I kept seeing her and a little more as we put the roof on, and my military buddies said I did everything I could to slow down the roof. I didn't want to get that roof completed very soon. Sometimes she would meet me at Tabor Park. Oh gosh, what a beautiful park with all the flowers and the greenhouses for the winter, and we would meet there. She loved to walk in that park, and I did too. And we had a favorite bench that we would sit on. So, it was something special. I believe daughter Linda was with me, and Jack Williams, and I remember them. We got a picture there at the cemetery, and then they kind of walked away and let me have a few minutes to kind of say goodbye and put some flowers on Anthelmette's grave. Quite a touching moment after all of those years that had elapsed. War is hell, and in combat, life is expendable. When life is expendable, not many other things matter more. That family gave me an anchor away from home that was so important during those dark days of World War II. Some of the guys that had screwed up and Captain Bloomfield had kicked them out of the unit, they got to stay, but I couldn't stay.
So that wasn't very fair to you, right?
No, I said I should have screwed up. But
so your last night together was at her home.
Yeah.
And then
I didn't know when the last night was. I just decided one of my main concerns was that we had developed a pretty serious relationship. And maybe I was being egotistical, but I had some concern that I did not want to upset her, and she was a second-year pharmacy student studying very, very much. And I didn't want to upset her, so I just kind of didn't, there was no last night.
But the last night you did see each other, Anthelmette's son said his mom would talk about how your buddies came by to pick you up, and you stayed longer so you could just be with her and then walk home that night.
That's right.
To France in 2013, and you laid flowers on Anthelmette's grave. If she had been alive, what do you think you would have said to her?
I would have said, Anthelmette, do you remember sitting on that bench in Thabor Park, May the 1st, 1945, exactly 1 week before the war was over? Do you remember that? That's one of the most memorable, I just can't describe it.